This conference will now be recorded.
To the Bladen County Monday, June 6, 2022 meeting. I'd like to welcome all the guests this evening. At this time, I'd like to recognize Reverend Warren Hill from Bethel Baptist Church to lead us in prayer, and then Mr. Martin follow and please with the pledge. Reverend Hill.
Father, we thank you for this day. You give us such a beautiful day today. We thank you. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for who you are. Lord, I pray that you'll be with the commissioners tonight, Lord, that you would help them, guide them, direct them. Lord, please give them knowledge, wisdom, and understanding how you would have them vote and how you would have them lead this meeting tonight. I pray for those that will speak, others that are here to present things. Just ask that you be with them also and lead and guide them. Lord, we just need your help, and we just ask for it. Pray that you would guide us and direct us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. I trust that everybody has looked at the consent items. A motion by Mr. Peterson, a second by Mr. Hester. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
If I could get all the commissioners to go down front for a couple. Ms. Shigley, ma'am. Come forward.
Okay, just to recap, in honor of National County Government Month, we held a contest to draw the seal of Bladen County. We have given out some activity books to all the third graders that they really enjoyed, and then we also put out the challenge for them to draw the county. So we had several third graders participate, and we had one winner, and she is here tonight, and I will let
Yes, ma'am.
Brett.
On behalf of the commissioners, I'm happy to present this to Miss Carly Rhodes. Come forward.
Karen, yeah.
Yes, come on up. Carly, we're so proud of you and all the other participants that chose to do so. And on behalf of commissioners, we present this plaque. And we also want to give you this medallion and a Bladen County pin. And if you notice, in God we trust on it. We believe in that, and we stand true to that. But we appreciate you so very much. Would you like to say anything? Thank you.
We are going to display this proudly at the library here in Elizabethtown, so everybody can come by and enjoy it. And she do a fabulous job.
Yes, she did.
Wonderful. Very talented.
Thank you. Proclamation Week for Miss Terry Osborne. And I'd like the clerk to read this, please, ma'am.
Whereas resilient and thriving communities are vital to our county's future health, success, and prosperity to ensure a strong foundation for everyone at all ages and stages of life. And whereas the science is clear that resilience is built and that communities and systems play a key role in promoting safe, secure, nurturing environments for all. And whereas adverse childhood and life experiences, adverse community environments, and adverse climate events impact overall quality of life and well-being of an entire community. And whereas it is our collective responsibility to promote positive experiences, secure relationships, and supportive environments to buffer stress and adversity. And whereas investing in policies, programs, and strategies that address adversity and strengthen community resilience is essential to the health of our county. And whereas the Bladen County encourages all agencies, schools, faith-based organizations, healthcare systems, elected leaders, businesses, and individuals to collaborate to strengthen our community. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Bladen County Board of County Commissioners does hereby recognize June 6th through June 12th as Resilient and Thriving Communities Week in Bladen County, and encourages all residents to become informed about the impacts of adversity to create a county aware of and actively practicing resilient strategies that benefit all individuals toward communities of hope and healing.
On behalf of the commissioners, we present this to you, and we thank you for all that y'all do and the hard work that you put in. We're sure you got something to say.
Yes. Can we say it now?
Yes, ma'am. You got it right ahead.
Thank y'all. Taking my notebook, I wrote something down. Thank you all so much. So thank you to our Bladen County Commissioners for your continued support of Resilient Bladen Coalition and our work with Bladen County Smart Start. We thank you all for acknowledging it once again that this work is important to every child and family in our county, and that the issues that sometimes plague our county are very connected to adverse childhood experiences, community experiences, and environmental experiences. There is hope through the practices of evidence-based programs to build resilience and strengthening families. By declaring this week, we join other counties around our state to change the outcome of countless lives. This movement will continue far beyond this proclamation week, and we have resources that we've been trained through Resilient Bladen and our Bladen Smart Start to strengthen our communities here in Bladen. Trainings y'all are more than welcome to come to, and meetings y'all are more than welcome to come to.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, do we have any other speakers tonight? Or guests want to speak? I declare open the public hearing to receive comments regarding FY 2022-23 proposed budget. I'm here to speak on behalf of the budget.
Dr. Lee and
Dr. Lee, Mr. Troy. When they speak, that's two people I thoroughly enjoyed working with, represent the commissioners on the Board of Trustees. It's an honor and a pleasure to do that. And I'd like to tell everyone you do an excellent job.
So, Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of County Commissioners, and Mr. County Manager, I am joined tonight with our Board Chairman, Mr. Dennis Troy, and also Mr. Jay Stanley, our CFO. And we bring you greetings from the Board of Trustees of Bladen Community College. I so appreciate the opportunity to come before you this evening and present our budget request, which you've already seen, so I'm not going to go into any details on that. But what we wanted to say today is thank you. We thank you for the support that you have continued to provide to us currently and in the past, and for your generosity. As a result of that support, we have been able to remain student-centered and future-focused. We've been able to provide opportunities for our citizens to earn a livable wage, to take care of themselves, and to take care of their families. And we could not have that impact if it were not for you and your support. So, the state of the college is good. And last month, we had over 260 graduates. We marked the end of an academic year, and with that end, we also marked the beginning of some wonderful things, and I wanted to bring those to your attention. For example, you've already seen that we had the very first graduating class of the Bladen Early College, and we're excited to celebrate that with them. We also had the first graduating class, the graduates from our engineering program, the Associate of Engineering, from our teacher preparation program, and from our agribusiness program. So these are three programs that have been very enthusiastically received in our community and with our students. We're excited about those accomplishments. Matter of fact, all of our teacher prep graduates are moving on to university to finish their teaching certification. So we hope that they will all be back teaching here in Bladen County soon. We have had our BLET graduation, so our basic law enforcement training, and two of those graduates are already working for the sheriff and serving our county here. We're excited that he saw their talents and hired them. So this year, we also have used our federal funds to rearrange our classrooms, to improve our air conditioner, HVAC, and to make sure our air quality is what it needs to be in our welding lab. I share that with you just to remind you that we are trying to be as fiscally responsible as we can with all the funds that we're receiving. We also have focused a lot of attention this year on cybersecurity and our physical security. And that work is an ongoing work and something that we'll continue to share with you as we continue to make improvements and we see opportunities. Our nursing program is just one of the success stories I wanted to share with you. Remains one of the best, if not the best in the state. And to that point, we actually have a student that looked at our graduation and success rates and chose us over many other community colleges as she commutes every day from Charlotte to come here to participate in the program that you support. So again, this would not be possible without you and the support that you're giving us. And again, I want to just stress to you that myself, our Board of Trustee members, we take our fiduciary responsibility seriously, and we are going to be good stewards of the public's funds. So, the operating budget that we sent to you and our request to you is an increase over last year. We did decrease a few areas where we could, especially in the general administration expenses. As with most organizations and companies, we've reevaluated our personnel gaps and needs as we've also struggled to find employees. And in response, we have selected to outsource our custodial services, some of our landscaping tasks, and our ongoing management of our HVAC systems. So these contractual arrangements will reduce some of our personnel requests, but it does increase some of our other requests. We've also included in this request a 2.5% increase for our county, for the employees that fall under the county budget. And we do that because we are anticipating a 2.5% increase for our state employees. And this is something you've always been very supportive to be sure that we can give the same percentage increase for all of our employees and treat them all equitably. The capital budget request submitted to you reflects an increase over last year. And I always kind of chuckle because I'm always so surprised we sit in front of some wonderful people like yourself and talk about sewage. But here I am, and I will tell you that over the years we've been able to manage our sewage situation with a great deal of ease, but now it's getting a little bit beyond our control. So you saw for the first time on the budget, we are asking for some money for an assessment and for a grinder. And that would be the coolest thing ever if I could have a sewage grinder. So do know that this is something that is starting to impact our ability to have classrooms open. We are also continuing to address the identified safety concerns from our inspection from the Office of Civil Rights. So you were wonderfully generous in funding some of that for last year. We have not completed all of those items that we had shared with you last year. Some of that is because of challenges in just getting the materials that we need. I think most of you can relate to that. And some of it has also been in challenges with during trying to design things that would actually correct those. So we're continuing to work. I want to start to end my comments that I hope have been brief by saying how much we appreciate at the college of being included in your strategic planning efforts. We were excited to be a part of those committees, and we've even taken it a step further, and in our own college strategic planning, we are trying to align our efforts with your efforts. I think it's important as we all go to Raleigh that we are all talking about the same concerns and talking about the needs of our community and working together. So it's my job on behalf of the Board of Trustees to bring before you the physical needs of the college. I just want you to know that I respect that there's a lot that you are juggling, and I know that you have a lot to weigh as you make these decisions. So again, I would just like to thank you for your support. I also would like this opportunity to thank Greg and to thank Lisa Coleman for their work. They continue to help us with our requests and help us manage our budget as best we can. So with that, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I would like to turn my opportunity over to Mr. Troy, who would like to make a few comments, after which Mr. Troy, myself, and Jay are all available to answer any questions. Mr. Troy.
Thanks, Brother Son. I'd like to just thank from my heart On behalf of the trustees of Bladen Community College, our president, faculty, staff, I just want to thank you, commissioners, for what y'all are doing for Bladen Community College. Because we bring hope, we bring opportunities, and we bring jobs. And I often tell folks, what can we do to make a student at Bladen Community College successful? Commissioners, what y'all have done with the budget to help our students be successful, we come to thank you for it. We come to thank you. Amen.
I'd like to add one thing to Mr. Troy there. I don't care where you go in the state or any other state, when you start talking about a community college, everybody knows Mr. Dennis Troy and Bladen BCC. I mean, everyone. It's just amazing. And that's a contribute to you. For the hard work you do, it's recognized, believe me. And we got a good college, and we're all proud of it. Thank you so much for it.
Thank you.
We thank you, commissioners.
Yes, sir.
Sunday, we had graduation acknowledgement in our church. Stage full of graduates, all but one graduated from their high school and BCC together. And I think that says a lot. So congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners.
Anyone else in reference to the budget?
Sheriff Jimmy Quick.
I'll be very brief. That's a hard act to follow. I just want to say on behalf of the Bladen County Sheriff's Office and the employees of Bladen County, how excited I was last week when I sat before this board and saw how everybody cared about the workers of this county. And I saw a side of the board last week that I hadn't seen in a long time. In regards of how the budget goes, we are very thankful for the consideration and support. And I'm very thankful for the way y'all feel about all the employees of the county. And I know you're trying your very best to do the best you can for them. And I truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, then I declare the public hearing closed on the budget. Declare open hearing to receive comments regarding the 2022-23 economic proposed appropriations for the economic. Anyone here reference that? And I declare the public hearing closed. Individual delegation wish to address the commission. Matter of interest to commission.
Sure. One thing.
Yes, sir.
I don't mean to beat the same old drum over and over again, but for the last couple of years, we worked really hard trying to create a great place to work, play, and live. People are coming into downtown Elizabethtown, other places around our community. They're opening businesses. They're making a great place for people to come and shop and enjoy a meal. Over and over again, I keep having business owners say, why can't we do something about the obnoxious, not just the noise, but the obnoxious attitude behind the noises? Sitting in Elizabethtown, having your cup of coffee and drinking your drink and having your pastry or your hamburger. And it's just the most unnerving thing. I'm 48. I'm middle-aged. I'm not too old to have a little bit of fun and enjoy, I've got cars and all that kind of stuff. But I want to respond, well, there's really nothing we can do. But I was in New York City not long ago, and they actually have blocks that are quiet zones where no honking of horns, no loud music, no loud mufflers. New York City, all the millions of people, and they can handle it. And I know the sheriff's department and the town police have challenges that are more important than noise. But I mean, we're working so hard to try to make such a quaint, nice community, a community like most places would love to have, and yet just a couple of jerks, coming through, and I mean, they'll throw it up neutral and rev it up and look at you like there's nothing you can do about it. And technically, it's a crime. I mean, there are noise ordinances and things. And I just wonder, if there's something that we can do to make certain places in our county, some counties or some towns do when the speed limit is a certain, then there is a quiet zone. I just think it would enhance our towns and our community so much. Again, that's the problem. I don't know what the solution is, but I sure think we ought to find one.
Mr. Chairman. Didn't the state had some kind of ordinance regarding what he's talking about?
I think that was talking about the the Carolinas
Squat, yeah, but most of the squat bring the noise.
County stuff. I think counties are choosing to do it.
Okay. But what he's talking about is a lot of times when you hear the noise is the squat vehicle, that's basically when you hear the noise.
And it's typically either exhaust or radios.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I ride a bicycle, that's my thing. And people will come up behind you and get right at you, throw it up neutral and just give it everything they've got. Just, I mean, literally trying to intimidate. And I know that y'all might think, well, this is a silly thing. There's that preacher we're going to, but the point is the fact they throw it up neutral and rev it up, what they're saying is, I don't care what you want or what you think. I don't care what the laws or the, you know, ordinance might be. I'm going to do whatever I want because I know nobody's going to do anything about it. And that's just it's a dangerous direction to go in. So I don't know if but I do think we need to do something.
And I think the laws are on the books for the loud mufflers, aren't they, Sheriff?
Yes, sir, they are. And you know, in my opinion, what something to do with address the ordinance that we have in the county. And I'll put some teeth in that. That's what we have to do together.
I'd like to be a part of that, making it happen here.
Brett,
Sir.
you know, that's well and good, and it's probably something, Dave, but I don't know how you'd enforce it. You know, we had these bombs going off up the street, and, the thing was you had to catch them or see them doing it and things like that. I don't know how you do it, but I'm just saying it will really create a problem for whoever's trying to manage it. And all these towns have got to be on board too. They ain't got the county to do it without towns.
The interest I got is with you guys, when we met with the last art meeting, we was looking at a time to tour a couple of facilities and go out and take a look at them so we could report back and assess where we want, what direction we want to go in. And that was at the Bladen Youth Focus Project and the East Acadia gym. And I have called around and kind of got some time at 5:30 on Tuesday, that's tomorrow. And Commissioner Goins said she could let us into her building, and Miss Price is here, she said she could let us into her building. And I was saying we could start at 5:30 at Bladen Youth Focus and then leave and go to East Acadia as quickly as we can, you know. Maybe get sure to give us an escort now. As quick as we can get down there to take a look at those two facilities so we can come back and kind of assess what's going on.
Mr. Brett.
Yes.
I think it needs to be scheduled out a week or two in advance. I can't go tomorrow. I mean, it's just tough to come in here and you have a meeting tomorrow evening when you don't know nothing about it. I ain't got no problem going and I want to go, but I can't do it that quick.
If those can't, I mean, for the East Arcadia Gym, I talked to the clerk and the mayor. So it's kind of easy for that. You guys can come anytime.
And I spoke with Ms. Price, and she relayed the same thing, you know, we all couldn't make it at one time, like with Harmon Hall. I went on my own to look at that. And if you can't get there, you get access to it. But I was trying to do a joint type situation where everybody go at one time. But if you can't, you know, the accessibility getting into the facilities is there really at hand, so.
And I don't mean to be arguing with you on this. I thought we were going to give Greg some dates and we were going to decide from the dates when would be best for us. I thought that's what we decided.
I didn't think we did. From my understanding, I thought you wanted me to come back with a recommendation. I thought you want me to come back with a recommendation and give it. The person is right here in town. The person is right here in town. And it wouldn't take but a few minutes to tour that one, and we could do the other one at a different time. We can do them all at the same time, but that's left up to the board. I'm just trying to figure out what direction you guys want to go. Because I inquire with each one of the people who could let us into the facilities, and they can do it on tomorrow afternoon at 5:30. Start if we want to do it. So this is a pleasure to the board.
Well, I agree with Mr. Peterson on that. I think we need a little time because I think there's several probably would like to go. I can go pretty much any time because I'm right here in town. But I think in respect and courtesy, though, we do need to have no more than a day notice. So if you can pick a week out and get a couple of dates, and then we got some time, you know, consider, and Madam Clerk can touch base with us to see what's a good time.
Well, I'm asking so I can have some direction. So we want to set up a date for next week. Is that what we're talking about?
We may get a couple of days in there.
next
You know how that goes, no send it out.
No Tuesday,
Yeah,
no,
but Tuesday,
Monday, today, okay.
So if I try to set up next Thursday, would that be
That's fine,
feasible for everybody to do next Thursday? Can that work?
That's fine.
Yeah, we can correlate that. And I'll get with Mr. Martin as soon as I can get that date in place and the time. Then we go with next Thursday.
All right, I'd like to touch base with what Mr. Cameron McGill said. And I think it's an important factor because I'm one of those merchants he's talking about, and my counter's probably 180 feet from the center line of the highway, if not further. And sometimes you have to quit doing business so you can communicate with each other. In 1971, I'm sitting at a station with the astronaut, Curtis Brown. We were in high school. And somebody was sitting beside us. And when Eddie Sutton rode by, that other car hit the floor. Eddie Sutton turned around and he come back and he sat down in both of those vehicles and romped. He wrote Curtis the ticket and his car was turned off, but he had a hot rod, but if you got on it, it would make noise. But he wrote the wrong man a ticket because the other guys, and I left, get out for left me 200. And I figured Eddie Sutton all the time about it, but it is a nuisance. Period. We couldn't have a little old blue boy, much less, I don't know what they call these boys they got on them now.
What can we do, Mr. Chairman, as far as the sheriff mentioned an
Of course,
ordinance?
the laws that's on the books, probably.
I mean, he had us, said we need some teeth, and I don't want, I mean, I don't want to
They
make all.
probably would have to have a lot of cooperation with the town and the other folks, but the laws are there. Sure.
The planning board has a noise ordinance that we have one. You just have to figure out what it is. It's one there, it's one in place, all right.
We'll look into this better.
Okay.
I just have a question, if the sheriff is here, about trash pickup. Are you gonna start doing that again, or put them around the county?
We are doing that.
Do you have a schedule? I think you go.
What happens is people call in to jail, just like Captain David Shaw, and request to get to a certain road.
Okay.
All we have to do is call and tell what road.
Captain.
Shaw, David Shaw.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay, we'll do. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And let me comment, Sheriff, thank you for the information that you gave me. Is it okay if I share it with other individuals? You want me to keep it to myself?
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, what about people?
What I asked you for, the information on your salaries.
That's yours, that's fine.
I can share with everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And thank you very much.
Anyone else? Bladen County Schools, Mr. Benny Lemon, Maintenance Director. How you doing, sir?
Hi.
Great.
All right. Hey, Ben, I'm here on behalf of Bladen County Schools for consideration for request to capital outlay. I don't know if everybody got the statement. Okay. Yeah, we end up buying 4 gravity lawnmowers for each of the middle schools because their lawnmowers are four slam outs. Demolition and removal for the press box at E-Town Middle, and we had about a 5-ton bar unit for E-Town primary cafeteria, and the total is $57,050.90.
Motion to approve.
Second motion by Dr. McGowan, a second by Mr. Bullock. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank
Good evening, sir. Thanks for coming. You look mighty sharp tonight.
Yeah.
Bladen County Employee Advocacy Committee, Mr. Cheryl Jones, our Human Resource.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say something before she comes.
Yes, sir, do right here.
First of all, I want to say thank you to the employees that are involved with this. Thank you for coming boldly to address the commissioners and to provide information on behalf of all employees. And I really appreciate that. It was great to have employees to come before us to discuss ideas that would have a positive impact on employment and also a positive impact on public service. We know as long as the employees are satisfied and do well, then public service goes up as well. So I want to say thank you for the group, the advisory advocacy committee. I'm a part of that committee, and you all have done an excellent job. And I want to let the commissioners know that I appreciate what you've done. And I say thank you. Ms. Jones.
Yes, thank you once again before you all. We, as
employees of the county, you very seldom may hear a thank you from us. And we represent our coworkers, our supervisors, directors, and everyone. We want to say thank you for the proposed budget that you've made, met on June last week, I think June 1st. The concerns that they had was about the percentage for the pay and salaries and all. And they want to say thank you because they know that you are looking out for the best interest of the employees, and your job is difficult. We know that. Decisions have to be made. But also that you also heard the concerns of the issues that we had in some of these departments. You know, you are acted on that. That's important. We know that turnover can be an issue. We know that services can sometimes lack, but our employees really step up to the plate. They really try to fill those gaps where it's needed, and they really want you to know that they appreciate what you have proposed, because as we have better employees, and when you show that you appreciate the employees and keep them in mind, they also know that that there are a lot of factors that go into those decision-making processes. So we meet once a month and we discuss issues in the workplace and how we can make ourselves better employees as well. Retention is an issue for us, as you already know. We have people who live out of the county, that travel into the county to work. And sometimes those people feel like they're a little bit left out of some of the discussions. But even saying that, they still contribute to the services and to our citizens here. You all have a strategic plan, and we asked everyone in the committee to look at a strategic plan and to think about it and see how they can be involved with that as well. And they have that information. And so, like Mr. Cogdell said, Mr. Bullock said, apologies, Mr. Bullock stated, take care of our employees, and employees will do a better job in providing those public services. And so, the presentation was made before you all met. And that's why I'm not viewing it, because it's null at this time. You really addressed what our concerns were, and you really acted on it. From the Sheriff's Department, from EMS, and they play a volatile role in their service they provide for our employees when they're out doing their job, especially with DSS. So that's very important. So once again, we want to say thank you for what you've done. We'll continue to do, and as employees, we know that we have to be better as far as personal development and training and community involvement and education. And so we have started to set up, we are drafting something like the ladders plan to incorporate them to do more as far as involvement with committees, involvement in the community to get the volunteerism rate up for our employees. And we want to branch all that together because we know, once again, better employees provide better services. And if I may say lastly, they also want to say that maybe some things can be considered, such as sales tax, maybe a little 10% may can help that while the strategic plan is being implemented and being planned out. That way everybody enjoy a fair tax, maybe occupancy tax to help gap that area, That's just some things they throw out there. They also said maybe instead of taking a personal time to volunteer in the schools, maybe there could be considerations for community service hours to help them get into the schools. So we know education was the issue. We get parents to dedicate a little bit of time, maybe going to schools and be in a class with their child or grandparents or what have you. That's an idea, some things that they throw out there as well. So this is not to look down upon, this presentation wasn't to make us look, negative, that we don't appreciate it. We just wanted to know that we know it's hard. We do appreciate everything you do. And thank you for your consideration in the proposed budget going forward.
Actually, on behalf of the commissioners, we thank you and your committee for what you've done and the time that you spent to do this and evaluate and do the study. And get us that information so we can look at it as a whole to Mr. Martin, and then he can get it to us so we can evaluate that. And again, we thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, could we ask the committee people that are here to just stand?
These are the people representing different departments in our.
These are the ones that work with us.
We have representation from DSS, Health Department, Tax Department, Pension Office, Water Department, Sanitation Department, Solid Waste. So these are employees that we all come together to make our workplace better.
Give them a good round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parks and Recreation, Mr. Grant Payton.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. I come here before you tonight to consider accepting an energy efficient proposal submitted by Duke Energy Small Business Energy Saver Program. If you recall, we had some money, the ARPA money, I think, to do LED lights in our gym. We quoted it out, we got a quote back from a company, and it was a lot, it was tit for tat with this one, but this one covers our office and everything. This will cover a lot more lights.
Motion to approve. A motion, Mr. Cogdell, second by Mr. Hester. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
The other item is consider accepting a bid in the amount of $402,066 submitted by Smith Brothers to pave the Robert Mazur Drive, the Bladen County Park, football field, soccer field, parking lot. We sent out 4 bid packets and we received 2 back, 2 didn't send anything back to us.
This will be cut from previous one. This is a big savings compared to the first.
The first, when it was in the overall, the large,
It went to 570, 580, something like that.
it was close to 550,000. I think that's where they still were with their.
So this is your lowest bid here.
This is the lowest. Second by Mr. Cogdell. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you. Advisory Board appointment, Nursing Home Advisory Committee 1.
I make a motion to put Heather Ellis on.
Second, Mr. Benson on Heather Ellis.
Heather
We got a second by Mr. Gillespie. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I won't call them out, but make sure you look at the advisory board appointment for June the 20th. County Manager, Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to, briefly review the calendar with you for the month of June and July. Point out next Monday, the 13th at 5:30, the Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meeting. On Tuesday, the 14th, the Association of County Commissioners County Assembly Day will be held in Raleigh. Also that evening at 6 p.m., the Committee of 100 evening dinner will take place at the Cape Fear Winery here in Elizabethtown. On Saturday, the 18th at 12 noon, there's a community prayer service on the courthouse lawn. The Board of Equalization and Review meeting scheduled a special meeting at 5 p.m. on the 20th. The Board meets at 6:30. Well, Saturday, the 25th, from 10 a.m. until after dark, the candlelight vigil and drug awareness event that will take place in the Bladen Historical Building. Also that day, from 12 until 4:30, there's a community fun day and some activity center, General Highway and Newberry.
Dr. Hughes, just want to add something.
Yes, sir.
General Calvin. On June the 18th, it's going to be a Juneteenth celebration. It starts at 2 o'clock till 10 p.m. And on the 19th, which is the actual day for Juneteenth, it's going to be a gospel fest at Bladen, at the Elizabethtown Middle School. That starts from 2 to 6.
Is the Saturday event there too?
Both of them going to be at the Elizabethtown Middle School. One's going to be, Saturday's going to be in the football field, and Sunday's going to be in the gymnasium.
Just want to remind you, I'm going back to the Board of E&R meeting conversation there. If you will, just keep the 27th, 5 p.m. penciled in and the event that when we get to the 20th, that's necessary. Moving over to July, county offices were closed on Monday the 4th, service of Independence Day holiday. There will be a prayer service here at 8 a.m. On Thursday the 7th at 12 noon, JCPC is to take place, and I see that's a virtual. On Monday the 11th at 5:30, the Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meets. Saturday the 16th at 12 noon, first service event will take place on the courthouse lawn. There is a Board of Equalization and Review meeting scheduled for 5:30, 18th. We're also that evening at Moving to item B, just in regard to the budget, just wanted to see if there's a good date here in the near future that you all could schedule a special meeting to further discuss and consider.
It's the month of June, or it has to be July?
I mean, well, it needs to be adopted and then taken July
So
first.
it's in June.
Senator Meadows.
And let's look at Monday the 13th.
That was Monday the 13th, look.
My birthday.
Oh. Happy birthday.
June 27th, or too late, June 27th, can't go with pencil in anyway.
Want to do June the 13th, is that good with everybody,
We do it
June
early?
13th?
How long, we do it early or late?
It'd be late.
7 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
13th.
I'll be here at 6:30, 6:30.
Get 7.
Let's say 6 o'clock, then you make it 6, John?
Yeah.
Let's say 6 o'clock on 13th.
On 13th?
You can't make it.
What time can you make it, Doctor?
7.
7 o'clock
7.
on 13th?
That's too late for y'all?
7 o'clock on the 13th?
I can. That's all right. I can do 7. Is that too late for y'all?
We'll do some hard praying and it won't last 10 or 15 minutes.
I know, it might take me 30 minutes to drive here.
That's pretty hard.
So 7 o'clock, we're saying 7 o'clock on the 13th.
I make a motion, we do it 7 o'clock on the 13th.
So let me try to do 6:30.
Got a
Do 6:30.
motion by
I'll be
Mr.
late.
Cogdell.
Change it to 6:30,
6:30.
and let me get here early.
6:30.
6:30. Motion, you amend the motion to 6:30.
6:30, yeah.
Cogdell made a motion at 6:30.
Yeah.
Got a second by Mr. Peters. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. 13th, right?
Mr. Mark, Mr. Brick, can we make sure, can we talk about art funds that day too? I mean, does that need to be part of your announcements, or is not going to throw it out there? I'm making no motion for need to, There's no motion, or is that good?
Either amend that one or undo it.
Mr. Cogdell, will you amend the motion?
What you want to do?
Art fund and the budget, 6:30 on 13th.
That's what I was trying to do when I was trying to get that other tour thing in there.
We're not
We just a minute, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it then, but you know, I was trying to get that done.
I've got an amendment from Mr. Cogdell. Still second. Got a good point.
Yeah. So can we do it tomorrow still, and those who can?
I serve your pleasure, board. Whatever time y'all want to go, anywhere I go.
But let's see if we can't go, let's see if we can't do
Already
it.
won.
Can we do it prior to the meeting?
Not everybody, I mean, I appreciate it. Not everybody can do that. I understand that. It is what it is. I can't either, but I do it.
Tomorrow?
Can't just leave any time ago.
Oh, okay. I can't also have
You can't do those things.
commitment.
Everybody got conflict with it, then it won't work. We just.
Well, we can still have another art meeting, but it ain't
That's
got
what I'm saying, so you never got to do it.
Ain't gonna make a difference, it's gonna make a difference a week.
But you're looking at Thursday anyway, so it's no big deal. We got time to do it. That
When
money,
the
don't have to.
money's locked in, ain't
Yeah,
gonna.
it don't have to be approved by.
So we're gonna stick with what we got.
We just go with the meeting and the art meeting and everything on, at 6:30.
On the phone, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank
Thank you.
Sure.
Moving to item C, the board is requested to consider approving the option A proposal submitted by ACT Associates regarding the Bladen County Substance Abuse Action Plan. You all know that the opioid settlement funding distribution will begin in the very near future. North Carolina is one of the early states that begin receiving funding. So we want to work with ACT Associates to help us update our strategic plan and determine how those funds can best be used to meet the needs of Bladen County.
Make a motion, second.
A motion by Mr. Cameron McGill, second by Mr. Peterson. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I got a question.
Cogdell first.
On this, with the funding piece of it, Greg, will we be aware what this funding amount will be? Is that?
Yes, sir, it's, if you all may recall, it's like right at $2.7 million over 18 years.
What's gonna be the first
Front
initial?
loaded, the first year or two is in the 200,000 range, and then it scales down to 160 to 170 range for the bulk of the duration.
It has to be approved by this board. All spending.
Okay, I just want to know how it's gonna be expenditure, how it's gonna be coming.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Bullock.
Where were the locations of the service? Are they gonna have a, like, a special location that they're gonna provide these services to the citizens, or how's that?
That all hasn't been determined. How we appropriate the funds and which services will be included or added or whatever it may be has not yet been.
Okay.
But will we be, now Cregan has providers that handle this type of stuff. Will we be working through Cregan? Would this be independent, separate? How would this funds be allocated?
Well, this is money in addition to. The Trillium has its funding sources and the services that it already contracts with private companies. This is over and above that.
So I'm saying, we don't have providers. Do we have providers that can actually take this money and?
We don't know that yet.
That's all part of the.
All that's
planning
concerned.
process.
Okay, so that's gonna be part of the works. How are we gonna dispense this too? We might look at.
The application. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. I was
One
wondering
of a
about
period of time, too, Greg.
Okay.
Right.
I was wondering how it's gonna be
And the
allocated.
secret plan that's coming.
Okay. I was wondering
Any
how
further
it's gonna be
discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Mr. Martin. Individual delegation wish to address the commissioners. Okay. Matter of interest to commissioners.
I just have one, since Dr. Duncan's still here. I had some questions with, some of the members of the JCPC and some of the organizations, about the COVID status, and we noticed that we're in the yellow. Can you give us an update, please?
We did go yellow about 2 weeks ago. Remember that yellow now is one of the CDC categories of green, yellow, and orange. We all know that we should be working on our own personal assessments of where we are and whether or not we should be wearing masks when we're in public. Consider the vaccine if you haven't had the vaccine, and remember always hand washing. We're anticipating that we may move to a different category. Those are updated weekly on Wednesdays. So we'll see. We still are in a much better place than we were this time last year because of the vaccines and the work that's been done. We have been very fortunate that this current strand has not resulted in the deaths that the one prior to that. So we're in a pretty good place. We've probably got 120 cases or so today that are active.
So you'll just let us know if we have to come back to us from a week or so?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? I've got a statement that I'd like to make. Sheriff, I'd like you to know that there's a lot of people thinking about you today. This is the first year that you've been without your wife. Today's your anniversary. And, thank you, sir. Anyone else? If not, I get a motion to go into closed session.
Motion going to a second.
Got a motion by Mr. Hess, second by Mr. McGill. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say nay.